Good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy whatever. It's Friday. If you're watching on the replay, happy whatever day, happy whatever time. We are going to have a good time in this training. I'm going to talk about why your professional education, your professional training won't make you successful, because there is a difference between your professional education, your training, all of those things, and having a successful business. So that is what we will talk about if you are watching on the replay, and I'm going to give you some suggestions and some strategies. Good morning, everybody. It's just me today. It's just me. Hello. Facebook took a minute. I was like getting a little nervous there that nobody was viewing. So say hello, say good morning. It's just me. I feel so alone. Laura is taking the day off as well as Monday. So you get me. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, welcome. So I'm going to dive in because this is a pretty important topic that I wanted to talk about on Wednesday evening. Good morning, everybody. On Wednesday evening, I did a 10K success system information session. And it was really interesting. There was a lot of really, really great questions, really good questions. And it brought up a lot for me in the sense of this topic of your professional training won't make you successful. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Say hello. Let me know. Hi, it's just me. Laura's on vacation. So I really wanted to have a chat about this, about the difference between your professional education, your designation, what you do, what you can do, period. And then what is a successful business? Because those two things are not the same. And I believe that one of the reasons that building a successful business, creating a successful business feels so overwhelming and so hard and so off-putting, for example, or confusing or stressful or whatever, put whatever word that you feel building a business is in the chat below or in the comments. Let me know what word you would use to describe what it's been like for you. But I do believe that the reason that it feels like that is because we are all operating under a false assumption. We are all operating under this belief that the professional training, the professional education that we received is the business. And that is not the case. That is definitely not the case. And so when I became a registered holistic nutritionist back in 2007, I thought that the letters after my name, RHN, that they would seal the deal when it came to being quote unquote successful. I had never defined what success meant to me. I didn't even know what success was. I just wanted to be successful. And so I had all of this knowledge and all of this passion to share with the world. And sadly, my knowledge and my personal experience and my passion did not translate into success. And so I'm seeing this over and over again, this misconception that having professional knowledge, credentials, letters after your name is what practitioners and coaches believe enables them to be successful. And that is not true at all. Your professional training, your professional, sorry, I thought I shut that off. Your professional designation, your professional training is like the product that you sell, right? So like I walk into Starbucks and my problem is that I don't drink enough water. My problem is that I don't drink enough water. And so I walk into Starbucks and I'm looking to solve my problem. And they sell me a solution to solve my problem. This cup, this drinking cup, with the straw specifically, is the solution to my dehydration problem. But this cup is not a business. Do you see? This cup is a cup. This cup is not a business. Starbucks is a business. So your service, your hour of time is not a business. It's a cup that is being sold, right? Your signature program is not a business. It is a cup. It is a lip gloss, right? That's what it is. It's the product that you sell. And so because I mistakenly thought, oh, I'm an RHN, I'm going to go rid the world of candida, I'm going to go rid the world of digestive system issues, I thought me being a nutritionist was the business. I thought that me selling my time for $150 was the business. My 60 minutes is a cup. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments if this is making sense. You also sell cups. Not really, but you do, right? Somebody comes into your store, your brand, your Facebook page, right? Your world, and they're looking to buy a cup because they have a problem. They're dehydrated. And you've said, hey, I have the solution to your dehydration problem. Let me sell you a cup because it has a straw, right? And the straw is what's going to help you make sure, right? And so you're selling a cup to them. You're selling a really pretty cup. The reason I bought this cup is because it sort of was like my brand colors and I really, really like it and it's pretty and it made me feel good. Plus it has a straw, right? And so I bought the cup, which was $30. This was $30. I spent $30 on this. Okay. And I will happily buy more. And I have more downstairs, right? Why? Because it solves my problem. So I walked into an entity, I walked into a business that sells solutions and I paid $30 and I got myself a product. Now, does Starbucks have to come home with me in order to deliver on this? No, they don't. Starbucks isn't coming to my house and making sure that the thing is filled with water and that I'm actually drinking. And no, they're like, here, that's a business. Starbucks is not a service provider, although they do provide a service, which is coffee, right? So this is what I wanted to talk about because it's so important that we get that there is a very big distinction between what you do and the business. You sell cups. You sell a program. Right? And so the business is not your service. Your service could be offered through the business, but your business needs to exist independent of the service because maybe you're going to swap out the service that you offer. Maybe you're going to offer a product or a program or whatever. And so I really wanted to just spend some time today talking about the distinction between being a service provider and having a business that provides a service or a program or a product. So when we all come out of school, we operate as a service provider. That is not a business. You make money as a service provider, but when the service stops, the ability to make money stops, and that is not a business. A business exists out. A business doesn't rely solely. Let me rephrase. A business has the ability to make money all the time, not only when a service is being provided. So some of you might never have a business, and that's okay. You might always stay a service provider. You want to work with 2-3 clients a month, right? You see them one-on-one. They pay you for your time. You spend 60 minutes with them. You create new content for every single person. That is the service that you provide. But let me be clear. You might bring in money for that service, but that is not a business. Because when you decide to stop delivering the service, you can't take in more money, right? Your ability to generate income, money, revenue is directly tied to your time. That is a service provider. There's nothing wrong with that. And this is why I think it's so challenging for people to wrap their head around what an online business is because you operate in that narrow perspective. And I don't mean, that's not disrespectful. It's a narrow perspective. It's a lens with which you operate. I am a service provider, right? So you say, okay, I'm a health coach, I'm a life coach, I'm a therapist, I'm a naturopathic doctor, I'm a personal trainer, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm the other thing, whatever it is that whatever your professional designation is, whatever your title is, the way that we were all taught was through this narrow lens of, okay, cool, time for money, right? I have the ability, I'm going to provide you with a service, a naturopathic session, a therapy session, a personal training session, a yoga session, a health coach session, a life coach session that is acting as a service. And again, when that service stops, your ability to take in money stops. And so then there are some people who were like, no, I want a business. Like, I want to be able to enroll clients while I'm at the grocery store. I want to be able to have clients access training and coaching and community and cups when I'm on vacation, right? I want a business that is an entity outside of my time. And so what does that take, right? What does that take? And so that takes the ability to set up what we refer to as the 5+1 components of a successful online business so that you can have an entity that exists outside of you. And then you offer your service within that entity. Let me know if this is helping you get clarity. And because I think that a lot of practitioners and coaches struggle unnecessarily and put a lot of pressure on themselves because they haven't made this distinction between the service they provide is part of the business. It is not the business. So let me walk through what the 5+1 components are. So Caitlin's saying, I want a business, had to really stop myself last night from offering myself as a service provider on a sales call. Yeah, they're not buying you. They're buying the solution. They're buying the cup. They're not buying you, right? They're not buying you. They're buying the solution, which is the product or service or program that you sell. And so the question really is, what type of offerings, do you want to sell a cup? Do you want to sell a mug? Do you want to sell, look at how many beverages I have here. Do you want to sell a mason jar? How are you going to deliver the liquid? Through this, or through this? One-to-one time, physical product, signature program. What's inside? Liquid. Same. Delivery, different, right? So that's what's really important. And so let me just show you what this looks like here. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do that. Okay, cool. So this is what I've built my entire career on. This is what we teach inside of the 10K success system. This is what a successful online business is comprised of, where, as you can see in number 4, your offering, your service, your program is a part of, it's a component of the totality of your online business. So if you are someone who wants to make $10,000 a month or $20,000 a month or $100,000 a month, and you want to know that you are impacting people's lives while you are enjoying your own, right? Then we have to get outside of this mindset of, I am a service provider. And we have to put on our entrepreneurial CEO hat to say, okay, I am committed to learning how to build a successful business. What components go into building a successful business versus how do I get clients as a service provider? Because that's very small, and that's okay. If you want, that's okay. And I want to, and I mean that, and I don't mean small as in, oh, that's so small. I mean that it's small, right? It's 2 to 3, 5 clients a month. But once you get past that, right, you can't scale that. And if you do, if you scale service work, you're going to get burnt out very quickly. And it doesn't afford you any control over your time at all. And so it's a choice. It's a choice to say, you know what? I am going to be a service provider, and this is the way that I'm going to operate. Cool. Or you say, no, I want a business. I want a business. And so if that's your choice, then this is what needs to happen. This is what you need to build. And if you know, this isn't just for online business, this is for a clinic. If you want a successful clinic that, you know, has the ability to see clients, patients outside of your time, this is also very relevant. And so what it is, it's the first thing. It's, who do you want to serve? What is the point of your business? What is the type of clientele that you want to serve in your business, right? What is that? Who are those people? What is the whole purpose of your business? What is the problem that your business solves? What is that? What is the problem, right? Because you go into Starbucks for very specific things. You go there for coffee. You go there to socialize. It's a type of clientele that go to Starbucks versus the clientele that maybe gets their coffee from, let's say, McDonald's, right? It's a different type of person. And so when you have an online business, we have to start with, who's the business for? What is the type of clientele that is going to make, you know, be the clients, the customers, the patients of the business? Because the business might offer more than one product, program, or service. So you want to make sure that the clientele would then buy every single thing that you offer. Make sense? Right? So that the next time you come out with a fancy drinking cup for $30, that same clientele is also going to buy the cup, even though they already have one, because it's the type of clientele. When you come out with a new program or a product or a retreat or a VIP day or a this or a that, that person that's in your world, they're more than likely going to buy multiple things from you. So then we have to look at, okay, so once we know who the business is for, then we have to look at, how do you stand out? How do you become a purple duck in a yellow duck world? How do you do that when there are many other people doing what you do? Part is your story, right? And part is your ability to communicate the problem that you solve clearly and concisely. And by offering high value content that is actually helpful, not speaking above their head, but that is actually helpful. And so when we do this, we're able to get attention and we're able to become relevant to those people who are looking to solve that particular problem in your business. And then we have our KLT+E, which is know, like, trust, and engage nurture sequence. So now these people are in your world. They're in your world. They're in your store and they're browsing. They're complete strangers. They're not really sure if spending $30 on a water cup is right for them. They don't really know what kind of coffee they want. They don't trust that the coffee is going to be any good. Maybe it's going to taste a little burnt, right? They're not sure about the surroundings. They need to get comfortable. They need to trust that that coffee is going to satisfy them the way that coffee should. They don't know the kind of service. They don't know what the prices are. They don't know. They're just like a new patron in your quote unquote store. So as the business owner, it is your responsibility to greet them, to show them around, to educate them on the varieties of coffee, right? And based on what they're looking for and what they need and what they want and their preferences and what have they tried before, what type of coffee would work best for them to satisfy their coffee craving, right? And this is you nurturing and building rapport and spending time educating and bringing them to a level of readiness where they are then being like, okay, I'm ready to choose my coffee. I know what coffee, I know I need a cup of coffee. I know more or less what kind of coffee I want, but I have some questions, and it's the details. And that's number 3. It's a sales process, right? They've browsed, they've researched, they've been educated, and now they have made the decision, I am ready to purchase coffee. And you have to have a sales process for them so that when they are ready, they can easily be like, I'm ready now. We don't want to make it hard for anybody to buy coffee, right? We don't want to make it hard. And most practitioners and coaches, because you are service providers, you unknowingly make it hard for them to buy coffee on demand. Because unless they have access to you, or unless they know how to purchase, or they don't even know that they could even buy coffee from you, right? We want to make sure that we have an automated sales process. This is a business. They have to be able to purchase the service, to purchase the program. You have to have a sales process. And then you have to be able to deliver. And so this is the important point, right? This is the important point. So we have lead gen, we have nurture, we have a sales process, and now we have delivery. But think about it, right? Your service, your program, your product, they're buying that. It is not the totality of the business. So yeah, you might have, your service, your time, of course. Yeah, you might have a program. Cool. But do you have lead gen? Do you have nurture? Do you have a sales process? Because if you don't have those things, you don't have any way to actually get people into the program, period, into the service, period. You don't have it. You don't have a business. You have a program. You have a service. Great. That's amazing. You have one of the 5 components. So the question really is, if you don't have these things and you are committed to building a business, how are you going to create these things, right? How are you going to, get really clear on who your business is for, and, what type of business you want, and what, how you're going to present your business to the world? How are you going to become a purple duck? How are you going to stand out? How are you going to become relevant? How are you going to nurture? What type of social media content do you put? What do you say in your Facebook lives? What do you say in your emails? What type of content do you put in your Facebook group? How do you have a structured sales process? How do you get people to the point of saying yes so that they can enroll into the service, the program, buy the product, whatever it is that you're selling? There's so much that comes before the actual delivery of the service or program or product. And the point of this is to help you understand that the service, the program, the product is not the totality of the business. Because I don't want you to struggle for 2 years like I did, simply because I had no idea that in order to actually deliver the service, deliver the program, I needed those 3+1 things that came before it. Because these are the things that all successful businesses have. And I didn't have them. I just had my service. I sat in my office in the chiropractic clinic, and I twiddled my thumbs and I was like, nobody wants to work with me. I did I had my brochure, I had my website, I had all of these things. And I was like, nobody wanted to work with me. Nobody wanted to work with me. That's not true. I'm sure that there were plenty of people that wanted to work with me. The issue is that nobody knew that I existed, and I didn't know how to get them to work with me. There's a big difference. And I hear that a lot, nobody's going to buy my service. Nobody's going to buy, nobody's going to spend the money. I'm like, how do you know that? You don't know that. You don't know that people aren't going to listen. If people go in droves, spend $30 on a water cup, there's plenty of people, right? Yeah. Lori's saying, what I love about this is you breaking down exactly what's already been done for me, and I'm blown away, and I'm so glad that I did 10K. Yeah, there's no way that I could have done it all on my own. I know. Thank you for saying that. And I know. I know. And this is why I'm going to keep saying it over and over and over and over again. Your professional training won't make you successful. Why? Because you don't have business skills. Your professional training helps you to enable the transformation for your client, and that is it. That does not equal a successful business. Yes, you can get your clients success. Okay, cool. How do you get those clients? You go like this. I don't know how to get the clients. So let's talk about, putting energy and time and attention and finances and investments and money and commitment into what I would love more than anything is for practitioners and coaches to be as committed to their business development as they were to their professional training. And I don't see that at all. I don't see it. I see, I'm going to try and figure it out on my own. I see this is too hard. I see there's a learning curve. I see, there's no time. I have children. There's this. I see all the excuses. Where were all of those excuses and all of those rationalizations and all of the self-doubt and all of the hesitancy when you were thinking about and investing in your professional education? I bet it wasn't there. Maybe a little, but not to the degree that this is. So if we look at those two things in parallel and we say, okay, over here on one side is your professional training, that will help you work with clients. That will help you transform lives. It stays in its box over here on the left. And then you're like, but I want a successful business. This doesn't come out of the box. Because your professional training in health coaching, life coaching, naturopathic medicine, therapy, personal training, yoga, that's not business training. It's two totally separate things. It's two totally separate things. So I'm curious, like, you have this training over here. What is the hesitancy about going and getting business training over here? Because the business training is actually what enables you to utilize the professional training. Because without the business, your professional training is not going to be used. And that breaks my heart. And that's why I keep explaining it over and over and over again, because I want the light bulb to go off and be like, oh, okay, cool. I get it. So I have my professional training over here, and I get that. And that is what is going to help me when I work with clients. But in order for me to be as successful as I desire to be, I now have to go and invest in business development training over here, so that I can learn the other side of the coin. And I can practice the other side of the coin, and I can get really good at the other skill sets that I need. And when they are paired together, then you have a successful business. So I hope that that illuminates why you are struggling so much, in the sense of what your next steps should be. Whether you ever decide to work with us inside of, the Wellness Business Hub and any of the programs or products or services that we offer or not, you still need this. Like, I might not be a good fit for you. You and I might not jive. Cool. There might be somebody else better suited to work with you. Absolutely. Either way, if you want to have a successful business, you still need this skill set. And if you don't know how to do it, yeah, thank you. On Wednesday, when you added, if you don't do this, then what will you do? So it's true. If you don't go and learn these skills, and they're just skills, that's all this is. They're just skills. Like the skill of being able to do an intake assessment, like the skill of being able to assess somebody's symptoms and come up with recommendations. You learned those skills. So if you learned those skills, you can learn these skills, right? And so if you don't invest in any capacity, whether that's like a book or whatever, what will you do? What will you do instead? So if you don't do this, what will you do in order to be successful? Because the success is not going to come from your professional training. It's not going to. You weren't taught the skills that you need to have a successful business in your professional training. You weren't taught them. So if you don't go and learn them, working with me or somebody else, what will you do? So I really hope that this shifts the burden off of literally your heart, to be like, I'm a failure. No, friend, you are not. You just lack skills. You just lack skills. And so now you have a choice to say, oh, okay, well, if that's all that it is, then let me go and invest in developing my business skill set so that I can elevate my business skill set to match my professional training, execute, and be successful. Right? Yes, exactly. And Lori's saying, and how much money are you not making while waiting and trying to figure it out all on your own? Yeah. So my intention, honestly and truly, is to help you understand that investing in your business skill set is a must. Whether you work with me or anyone else, I want you to feel good about investing. I want you to feel good about committing to growing a business and understanding that your professional training is one of the components that make up your business. It is not the business. So I hope that was insightful. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. And we'll talk to you on Monday. Bye.